What up, it's Dane here. In this video, I want to be telling you about the 1000 calories a day, and you can literally do this to lose fat a lot faster than what normal people will tell you. So let's get straight into this video. So how do you actually go about doing the 1000 calories a day? And this is exactly how. This is what food you're going to need to eat. So our main aim when we do this is to keep the protein intake really high, because when our calories are very low, and remember, when we take insufficient protein in, muscle loss will occur. Therefore, protein being priority number one, and of course the energy balance, the 1000 calories. Now you're probably thinking, okay, I want fast fat loss, but I don't want to be hungry throughout the day. So let me give you some tips and tell you what foods you need to eat so this doesn't happen. So first of all, you can actually do intermittent fasting, or the 16-8 lean gains approach, which basically means going 16 hours without eating, which includes the sleep from the night before, and then 8 hours of eating. This way you keep all the calories to later on in the day, allowing you to eat a bit more food at one time. Or just the conventional approach of eating breakfast, maybe 3 to 4 meals a day, and just keeping a very low calorie. However, just because you have 1000 calories a day, I just suggest you have maybe 1 or 2 meals. So the foods that you should be eating are foods that are high in protein, like chicken breast, turkey breast, and also tuna. The reason why I hesitate there is because you need to eat lean sources of protein that are very low in fat, because fat is very calorie dense and it doesn't provide as much satiating effect as protein does. And of course, protein does give better thermic effect of food, which basically means calories being burned from digesting the protein. So for those of you who didn't know, fat is 9 calories per gram, whereas protein and carbohydrates are 4. However, I do suggest protein over carbohydrates, as like I said, it's a lot more satiating. Okay, so now that we've got protein foods out the way, let me tell you about more vegetables and fruits that you should be consuming when you're doing this dreaded 1000 calories. So first of all, we need to make sure we have our macronutrients covered, and for this you just need to eat more vegetables and a lot more fruits. Now one thing I have to mention again is that fruit is a simple source of carbohydrates, and these don't fill you up too much. Although they will replenish your glycogen, I do for that reason say stick to more berries rather than bananas and apples. Stick to raspberries, strawberries, blueberries, you know what I'm saying. Leading me on to telling you to eat more vegetables. You can have probably as much broccoli as you want, because broccoli is very satiating, and so all the other green vegetables. So stick with a lot of green vegetables. They will give you a lot of fiber, a lot of macronutrients, but let's face it, all vegetables will be good. So basically, when you're doing this 1000 calories a day, to lose fat quite fast, you'll need a high protein intake and a load of vegetables. That said though, you can still overconsume on protein. I can easily eat more than 1000 calories of protein per day, so just make sure you still keep that 1000 calories per day. Okay, so like I promised, I will give you some tips in order to stay basically full throughout the day and not get as hungry. So number one, especially when you're doing intermittent fasting, drink a lot of water throughout the day. Or if you're someone that just really doesn't like water, flavor the water with some non-calorie, something like 0 calorie flavoring. Or you can just consume some diet drinks that still have calories. However, if they prevent you from eating further, then that's going to do the job. So tip number 2 is drink black coffee. A lot of people don't like black coffee, so maybe you would like some green tea or some other zero calorie drink. This doesn't mean that you can add loads of cream and sugar into your coffee. I mean, of course you can, but it's not going to have the same effect, which I'll tell you about in a second. So the reason why I said drink black coffee is because it does actually blunt appetite. Now, one thing I have to mention though is that if you drink black coffee, maybe 5 or more cups per day, you are going to get way more immune to it, and you're not going to have that same effect. So drink about maybe 2 cups of coffee per day. Have regular sips, don't drink it all at once, and your appetite will be blunted. Now tip number 3 is fruit. If you are doing intermittent fasting, just before you break your fast, a few hours after, if you are getting very hungry, you can eat a piece of fruit. I'll just suggest maybe an apple or orange, as they do provide more satiety than maybe say banana, as it does show this in the satiety index. So this will basically replenish your liver glycogen, sending a signal to your brain that you're feeling a little bit fuller. Okay, so essentially you're doing rapid fat loss here, and obviously because you are consuming 1000 calories, it's going to be kind of hard. So basically this is a crash diet. Now I don't suggest people do go on crash diets, however they can go on controlled crash diets. Meaning, this example, you consume very low calories throughout the week, maybe 1 to 2 weeks, and then afterwards you kind of go back to your regular eating habits. However, you want to get into good habits, because there's no point of losing all the fat and then gaining it all back. So what we need to understand is that when we do this rapid fat loss approach, the fat loss will be fast, and this is so important. Do not do a lot of cardio or excessive cardio when you're doing this rapid fat loss, because your body, your cortisol levels, which is the stress hormone, will shoot up, and all your fat loss will be masked by water retention. So to summarize all of that, basically not much cardio, but 1000 calories a day. Or if you really want to do some cardio, just do low impact, long duration cardio like walking, which will not impact your weight training. Okay, so just before I end the video, I want to tell you a lot more detail in what's actually going to happen to your hormones and all that kind of stuff when you're doing this 1000 calories. So basically, your metabolism is going to adapt because your body is consuming fewer calories. Now, your BMR, which is your basal metabolic rate, this will drop as well. And this will drop maybe like 2 to 3 days, even shorter, because the calorie deficit is very, very large. Another reason your calories will drop, your calorie maintenance will drop, is because the thermic effect of food, which basically means how many calories are being burned when you eat this food, this will drop as well because you're consuming less food, obviously. As well as this, your NEAT, which basically means your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which is basically like fidgeting, the subconscious movement, this will go down as well. And your NEAT is a very big proponent of burning calories per day. So if you're someone that's very active, by doing a 1000 calorie a day, you're going to get a lot more lethargic, so this will drop as well, so keep this in mind. And lastly, the thermic effect of activity will drop as well, meaning how many calories you burn in activity. Now you're probably thinking, what the hell are you talking about? The reason being is because the smaller body burns less calories. This is also why your BMR will drop as well. So that's basically how to do the 1000 calories a day with intermittent fasting, giving you the essentials that you need to know about the protein, which is very essential when you try to maintain your muscle mass, and also what foods to eat, the tips I gave you. All of this is really important, and of course the metabolic adaptation that is going to take place with your BMR, you know, all those kind of things. Don't repeat myself again. So anyway, that's it. Let me know if you enjoyed the video. I'd love to hear your suggestions down below. And one thing I have to leave you with is, please do not do excessive cardio on top of this aggressive fat loss diet, because your fat loss will be masked. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Leave your comments and suggestions down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? And as always, subscribe to the channel, stay positive, stay smiling, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.